way. ALIKHANYAN, Armenia, Frank CHAMIZO, Italy. CHAMIZO looking for another European championship. It will be number 5, back-to-back titles in 16 and 17, and then again in 2019 and 20. So tough to score on. His defense throughout the years, one of the best. Very good counter offense. You make a mistake attacking him and you're going to pay.
And in his quarterfinal match against Soner Demirtas, it was a matchup of fellow Rio Olympic bronze medalists. Frank CHAMIZO went to the corner after the break and looked at our cameraman to the side and said, "I'm extremely tired," used a couple of explicit words that I can't use, but
he's colorful, just like his Instagram page. He has quite a personality. 2-0 lead, CHAMIZO, as he secures the takedown, not quite a minute in. You're surprised I knew what his Instagram page looked like, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Mr. Social Media right here with me. Yeah, right. But I have checked his out occasionally.
Yeah, he may have the best fashion in all of wrestling, living in Ostia and Rome, splitting time in Italy, right down the coast from the Italian capital. But I was speaking to Jordan Oliver of the United States at the Istanbul at the Yashar Do, and he said, I asked him, what's it like training with Frank? And he said, the funny thing about Frank is I introduced him to lifting weights. He had never lifted weights before. He's just so strong, and it's so natural to him. But the thing that he never did was he steps away from that. Every time someone takes a shot on him, you have to be careful because you never know what's coming. But yeah, I'm expecting to see a new Frank CHAMIZO over the next few years if he can get in the weight room and really put on some size. Because if you think back to 2016 with the Olympics, the year after in Paris, he moved up to 70 kilos, where he defeated James Green for that world title, and then ultimately moved up to 74. The question is he really a 74-kilo guy, or is he one of those natural 70 guys? And I think he still has a little room to grow into 74 kilos to be a full-set 74-kilo guy, but he's looking good here in Budapest, excuse me.
He has measured his 2 shots, and both times he has been successful in this opening period. Referee said 2, not confirmed yet. You see the 4-point position. He'll drive that forehead down, and now that should secure the 2. Near the edge, and CHAMIZO with a 4-0 lead in this first period. Very workmanlike performance against the 23-year-old from Armenia, ALIKHANYAN.
And this is the best CHAMIZO. When he's attacking this, what you don't want to see is he often falls into, he relies on his counter offense so much because it is so great. His defense is arguably the best defense in the world, and if he could continue to attack and not rely so much on that counter offense, I think it completely changes who he is as a wrestler.
Yeah, he gets that lead like he has in the first period. It is tough to come back on. One of the great personalities in the sport matched up against ALIKHANYAN. Just missed out at the Olympic qualifier in Sofia, Bulgaria last year. This is his 2nd senior level European championship, and he has danced his way into the semis against one of the great names in the sport in CHAMIZO. ALIKHANYAN getting some instructions from the corner. Creative, different ways, trying to figure out how to get to his ties, and more importantly, how to try to find a takedown in the works against CHAMIZO. CHAMIZO grew up. It was a tough childhood. He's told numerous media outlets, telling his personal story. Growing up in poverty, was raised by his grandmother as his parents lived abroad. Began wrestling at the age of 7. Walked into a wrestling room just out of curiosity. Heard some strange noises coming from the room. Thought he'd check it out. Little did the world know at that time that he would develop into one of the best the world has seen over the past decade. So consistent. Started his career representing Cuba, made the switch to Italy. 2015, responded with a world championship in the first year. Now a little offense coming from ALIKHANYAN, in on a leg. CHAMIZO trying to kick his way free. Now he stuffs. Now he comes back, and he's going to get the exposure for 2. That is Frank CHAMIZO in a nutshell. You get in deep on a leg like ALIKHANYAN did. Normally, you were able to finish it for a takedown, and what happens? You get exposed.
And the problem there was ALIKHANYAN stayed on his knees. He didn't come up, and he allowed the weight to go on his heels. And once CHAMIZO feels that is the unique thing about Frank CHAMIZO, is his feel when people are in on his legs is what separates him. He understands where his opponent's weight is at all times. Capitalized on ALIKHANYAN putting his weight on his heels and picked up that second takedown of the bout.
Injury timeout. Actually, it's a blood timeout. ALIKHANYAN got cracked. Want to remind you our coverage tonight from Budapest, a Tuesday night here in this beautiful city. Semifinals, 61, 74, 86, 92, and 125. And then we move into the first medal matches of the week in the opening 5 weights that we saw last night. 57 kilos, 65, 70, 79, and 97. All that coverage coming up tonight. Great to have you with us wherever that might be across the globe. 6-0 CHAMIZO. 90 seconds to go. Coming in low, submarine strike by ALIKHANYAN, and the action goes out of bounds. He will get the step out point. Good drive.
And now for ALIKHANYAN here, it's all about taking risks. Have nothing to lose. You're down by 5 points against a 2-time world champion. You need something big.
CHAMIZO just kind of stuffing that head away, not letting ALIKHANYAN get to any type of tie-up. There's a big club. That's going to draw the referee's attention. Saw CHAMIZO kind of shuck the head a couple of times. I think ALIKHANYAN a little frustrated with that. Counter with a pretty good club of his own.
It's the retaliator who always gets dinged. Yeah.
Caution is given him 1, so CHAMIZO with a 7-1 lead. Right arm underhook by ALIKHANYAN. Again, just cleared away by CHAMIZO. CHAMIZO backing up a little bit. Sometimes he almost looks like a boxer with his footwork, the way he dodges and dances, moving his levels.
And it just has to be frustrating because he doesn't normally have his hands up. You notice his hands are down, and he just allows people. He welcomes people to his hips, and that's not something that wrestlers normally do, but this is a risk right here. ALIKHANYAN has to go big.
He tried to hit a big one. Even the precarious situation like CHAMIZO was, there was no panic, and that is going to be it. Frank CHAMIZO is back into the finals in search of another European championship. Italy celebrates back at home. Frank CHAMIZO, who has been the face of Italian wrestling, continues to shine. 7-1. Your winner in the semifinals.
And over on mat number C, or excuse me, mat C, it was Temura Salkazanov